As we all know, Donald Trump got a fairly significant victory at the U.S. Supreme Court on Monday when they ruled that he cannot be kicked off the ballots. Such an act would have to be passed by Congress. But that victory on Monday with the Supreme Court was not enough for Donald Trump, because shortly after he got that victory, he got on Truth Social and demanded a second victory from the court and basically demanded that they give him presidential immunity. Now, they still have to hear oral arguments on the case. That'll be coming up in April. Maybe we get a decision on that by May. It's a little iffy, but either way, Donald Trump is already working the court, telling them how horrible this country will be if it even continues to exist if he is not granted full and complete immunity, because he seems to be planning on breaking the law again if he gets back into office. Here is what Donald Trump posted on Truth Social in a very lengthy rant. Without presidential immunity, a president will not be able to properly function or make decisions in the best interest of the United States of America. Presidents will always be concerned and even paralyzed by the prospect of wrongful prosecution and retaliation after they leave office. This could actually lead to extortion and blackmail of a president. The other side would say, if you don't do something just the way we want it, we are going to go after you when you leave office, or perhaps even sooner. A president has to be free to determine what is right for our country with no undue pressure. Without immunity, the presidency as we know it will no longer exist. Many actions for the benefit of our country will not be taken. This is in no way what the founders had in mind. Legal experts and scholars have stated the president must have full presidential immunity. A president must be free to make proper decisions. His mind must be clear, and he must not be guided by fear of retribution. Let's go ahead and get something out of the way here. No, legal scholars and experts actually do not say that you should have full and complete immunity. That's not a thing that happened. Also, kind of sounds like you're admitting that, hey, look, I might be going back to that White House and I'm going to be doing some things that I need to make sure I'm not prosecuted for later. Now, that's a hell of an argument to make in front of the Supreme Court, sure. I just hope it's not the one that Trump's lawyers use, because, that's probably not going to bode well for them. So actually, I do hope they use it, because God knows we don't want them to have immunity. But Trump saying like, oh, I could be blackmailed. Only if you break the law, though. That's how that works. You're not going to be prosecuted for signing a piece of legislation. That's not a thing that's going to happen ever. But let's be real here. What Trump wants to do is make sure he can do whatever the hell he wants and never, ever, ever fear being prosecuted. And nobody in this country should have that luxury. I mean, in fact, maybe we ought to curtail presidential immunity just a little bit. We do have presidents that go over and launch drone strikes that kill dozens and dozens of civilians. And then they come out and say, oops, we hit the wrong target. They can't be held accountable for that. We should be able to hold them accountable for that. So on so many issues, we have presidents that are acting without care, without concern, because they know nothing can happen to them. That shouldn't be the case. And we sure as hell shouldn't have a president that actually tried to overthrow the incoming regime allowed to get off scot-free. And that is exactly what Donald Trump is trying to do. And he's trying to cover his bases in case he gets back into office and decides he wants to commit a couple more crimes on his way out the door. We don't know what the Supreme Court is going to do. The ruling this week was obvious. We knew that was coming. We knew they were not going to let him be kicked off the ballot. So nobody, I think, was shocked about that. But with the immunity thing, could go either way. It all comes down to that wholly corrupt U.S. Supreme Court, and nobody knows how this is going to end.